Leadership is not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about alignment, awareness, heart, and grit. I'm Tammy Ebright, leadership strategist, and this is Unleash Your Amazing Leadership. Join me as I chat with leaders who are evolving, growing, and creating real impact on purpose. Each week, you'll hear stories that inspire, challenge, and remind you of who you are. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Unleash Your Amazing Leadership. Today, my special guest is Eric Mitchell. Eric is the author of the newly released book, The Why of Money. It's an introspective look at how to get out of your own way and finally earn what you deserve. He develops innovative purchase market strategies proven to revolutionize the way loan officers and realtors partner. I love that. Generating their unprecedented success and market reach. Using award-winning application technology, Eric creates highly sought-after, state-of-the-art lead generation platforms that have delivered sustainable growth for thousands of sales professionals that he's trained across North America. He's a certified master practitioner in neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, and an industry leader in marketing and business development. Voted the most connected mortgage professional for 10 years in a row. And something that he doesn't have in his bio is he is a foster dad. He fosters dogs that have had, maybe a little more challenging in their life, and he helps them get ready to be adopted. Welcome, Eric.
Hey, great to see you.
Great
Thrilled to be here.
Well, thank
Yeah,
you.
that's definitely my passion project is helping high trauma foster dogs or dogs that are in kill shelters that are going to be euthanized because they're not considered adoptable, bite risk, etc. I'm able to save about 8 a year personally, and so taking them, into my home and showing them, not all humans are bad.
Mm.
Some of us are not going to harm you, and helping them build trust again, and so that's people ask me, how do you heal a dog? And my answer honestly is I let them heal me,
Mm.
right? Like I just surrender to the relationship and say, look, you're broken, I'm broken. Let's be broken together
Yeah,
and see how this goes.
how did you get into that, Eric?
Like most of my life lessons, and I try and coach people, don't do this, but I learn my biggest lessons from trauma.
Me too.
And what I try and teach is learn from other people's trauma, right? Like watch trauma, right? Learn from other people's trauma.
Mhm.
I haven't quite seemed to master that on my own yet. And so it came from my separation and divorce. I had two traumatic events as a kid with dogs, and so I never wanted a dog, right? It was just too traumatic for me. And then in my most recent marriage, my then fiance was applying pressure for a dog in a loving way, right? In a good way. And I finally surrendered and said, "Yep, we're gonna get a dog," and we got this beautiful, beautiful dog that I fell madly in love with. And then in the divorce, because it was a present for her, right? It made sense that she would take the dog, and I lost the dog. And so it's like, okay, so this is not good. And do I want to go get another dog? Like is that what I should do? Is that and so I started investigating, and then I saw the need for fosters, right? There's an overwhelming amount of dogs that are being euthanized because there's not enough fosters. And so I said, let me see how that goes. Let me dip my toe in the water. I'll take one and let's see how this progresses. And then, you know, I just fell in love. And with each foster, the hard part about being a foster is the letting go.
I bet.
Yeah, like you fall in love with this beautiful little angel of an animal, and then they get adopted, and you have to take them to the adopt the new family, and you leave them, right? It's like, oh man, that's just And so my first one was probably the easiest because it was new. Um, and he was adopted by this amazing family. And then the second one, I made the mistake of when I turned around when I was leaving, I turned around and looked at the dog. His name, I'll never forget. His name is Larry. And the look on Larry's face was like, I promise I'll be good. Like, please don't leave me. Like, what do you like? Don't you love me anymore? And it just pierced me. I shouldn't have turned around. I shouldn't have looked. And so yeah, I remember I drove to the other end of it was a very big parking lot, drove to the other end of the parking lot, parked, called my mom and wept.
I bet.
Yeah. And so my mom's like trying to be a mom. Right? It's like, oh, you can't do this anymore. Like you can't foster, moms. And I was analyzing going, so is it more important for me to try and save dogs, or is it more important for me to not be sad?
Hmm.
Right? And it's like, look, if me being sad means that I get to save 8 dogs a year, roughly, then I'm gonna pay that price. And it just is what it is. I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna allow myself to feel that and also recognize that I saved that dog's life. And now they're with this great family and they get to live this beautiful life. It just I was a temporary bridge to that life.
Do you get feedback on the families on how the dogs are doing? And
Everyone,
yeah, that's cool.
yeah, need to follow up. Yeah, but yeah, I do house visits, right? Like you have to make sure the house is what they say it is, have the family is what they say it is. And so far we're batting 1,000 so far.
I love.
Um, and so, but the dogs when they come to me, they're usually there's a big problem.
Mhm.
Bite risk, high trauma, cowering in the corner, don't want to have any interaction with anybody for any reason. And my current dog, her name is Sweetie. She's a 28-pound terrier mix, and it's very obvious that she had to fight for her life on the streets. She was found abandoned. And when she sees other dogs, she is very convinced that that dog is going to kill us. Like that is I don't care if it's a 6-pound Chihuahua, doesn't matter. That dog is going to try and kill us, and I'm going to scare it away, right? And she's proud, like, Daddy, look, I scared it away. Daddy, look, But the sound she makes, she learned to make this sound. And I'm telling you, like, if you're hearing that sound for the first time, you are convinced she will kill you. She's coming to clamp onto your throat. That's the sound she makes. And so it freaks people out, like when we're out in public. Like people are like, "Oh my God, you have Cujo. Like what is that?" It's like you guys don't
Little Cujo.
little Cujo. Well, she's 28 pounds, but she pulls like she's 50 pounds.
Okay.
She's
Okay.
deceptively strong. And she's proud of it, right? She's like, "Look, Daddy, I'm keeping everybody away." It's like, "No, baby, you can't. No, no, no. They're not gonna try and kill you, right? It's okay." And so this one has been my most challenging. And so I'm 2 months in with this one,
Hmm.
and she's not adoptable yet, right? Because she's not a bite risk though. She sounds like she's a bite risk, but even at her most what I'll call crazed, I stick my hand in her mouth because I need to know, like, when you're like this, can you bite me? Like, are you a bite? No. She looks at me like, what are you doing? I'm scaring them away. Like, why are you putting your hand? She puts it. What are you doing?
She's like,
Like,
I don't want to bite you. I want to bite
I don't want to.
them.
No, she doesn't want to bite them because when she gets close enough, so I've tested it,
Mhm.
right? Like, I've had friends with dogs and we test it. And as soon as she gets close enough and the other dog comes forward, she puts her tail between her legs, starts screaming for help, like, "Oh my God, it's gonna kill me, Daddy, help me." But it's up to that point where then she pulls, but moving to that point, I'm telling you, it looks and sounds like she's going to kill you.
Mm.
But she doesn't. She's just this little scared bundle of love. She's literally this bundle of love wrapped in sugar.
No.
Yeah, we snuggle. She's my little spoon. We snuggle, and anchor. There's little places in my house where I go to, and she knows like if I sit on the bottom step of the stairs, this means come in and you're gonna get scratches. Daddy's gonna give you scratches, right? So she comes over. Oh my God, that's where you go when I get scratches, and so um, just trying to acclimate her to love,
Mm,
right? There's no negative anything, just love. But she is convinced that dogs are bad.
mm,
And so we're working through that. And so I'm trying to bring in some specialists and trying to bring in, but my commitment is to the organization that look, I'm going to foster the dog as long as it takes.
mm,
There's
mhm,
no time limit. There's no deadline. There's no ultimatum. There's no nothing. As long as it takes.
That's nice. It's such a meaningful work, especially working with dogs that are higher risk like that. And considering that you were bit as a child and now you're like putting yourself in the middle of something that where you definitely could get bit again, and maybe you have.
I have been. Oh yeah, no, I've been bit.
Yeah.
This one, I've got scars all over my legs,
Mm,
like actual scars, like permanent scars all over my legs, because when she's trying to go after these dogs, like it's irrational and it's like she'll do anything to go in that direction. And so when I'm trying to hold her back, she's my legs are just scarred all over the place. Like I bleed weekly. And so, but okay, badge of honor.
yeah,
It's all good. You do you. We're gonna fight through this together. We'll get there.
that's really kind. It's really nice to have that like passion project,
Yeah,
especially.
I know you are also passionate about animals.
Oh yeah, we've got well, I was thinking when you were talking about my dog, she's all mouth like that. She gets out there and she's like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." And then but Hunter's dog, my daughter's dog, she's the enforcer. She's the muscle. My dog's the mouth, her dog's the muscle.
Nice.
And I think we're at total 21 animals right now with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
that.
That's some love right there. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Yes. So, and as you know, like having that love, especially, you're in a high pressure industry, the mortgage industry. Um, it's nice to have that softness that I think animals bring out of us to kind of at the end of the day be able to go.
For sure.
So you
100%. 100% I agree.
So you have built an incredible career in the mortgage industry. What early experiences or beliefs do you think really shaped your approach to success?
I'd say the biggest blessing I've had is being able to recognize, find, and get in front of great mentors.
Mm-hmm.
And then not just take from them, but also try and be valuable back in return.
Hmm.
And so I try to repay all of my mentors, right? Like if you've created value in my life, how do I create value in yours? What can I do? What can I bring to the table that you would find valuable? Right? You've given me all this great information. And one of the things I've learned about mentors is the greatest gift you can give a mentor is to implement what they taught you, to
Yes.
actually do something with it so they can see what they taught you mattered. There was an impact.
Mhm.
That to me is the greatest gift you can give a mentor is they gave you the information, do something with it, and then show them you did something with it. Because, and you're in the coaching business, right? Like how many of your students or pupils take the information and implement it? I
Mm,
mean, it's a small percentage, unfortunately.
mm,
And so when you get to be that person that implements, they give you more, right? They give you more time, more energy, more resources because they're just as excited as you to watch the implementation.
mm.
That's how you gain access. Just do something with it.
Yeah, I love that. And a big part of what I do with people is actually just helping them understand who they are so that they can be more
Mm.
of that. And so I think that that's a little bit of different. I don't necessarily have a specific game plan that I'm playing. I'm finding out what their plan is, what they look like, what energetically who they are, and I'm helping them be more of that.
Love it.
Yeah, it's fun. I really love seeing somebody like really pull out the best Tammy that they are, or the best Eric that they are, and use that to have success. So your book, The Why of Money,
Hmm.
drives into how we get into our own way. Can you talk a little bit to that?
Yeah, and again, it came from trauma.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2004. My mentor at the time, the guy I wanted to be, right? Like this was the guy. Like I just want to be him. Like everything he was doing, like every aspect. Like he was my picture of the man that I was trying to become. And he came and did a site visit in 2004. So it's 2004. I'm in the mortgage business. I'm making more money than I'd ever dreamed of. And had a great day, lots of good feedback. Um, and then at the end of the day, we were having dinner and we were having a more in-depth conversation about life. And so he said, Eric, so what are you going to do with all the money? I was like, I don't understand the question. What do you mean? I was like, I was honestly confused by the question.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me and was like, well, like, why are you making all this money? Like, what? Why? What for? I was like, hey, man, like, I know you're trying to ask me something important. I can tell this is an important question to you. I don't understand the question. I literally don't understand it. Like, because it's money. That's what you do. You make money.
Mm-hmm.
That was my response at the time. And I remember him looking at me, and for the very first time, his eyes showed disappointment,
Mm-hmm.
and it crushed me. I mean, it absolutely crushed me. And so I went on this journey. Like, I don't have a good answer to a question that seems to be very important to my mentor. I don't know why it's important, but because I value him, I'm going to value the question. I'm going to learn why is this question important. So I went to, and so the criteria was I'm going to seek out people that make more than $1 million a year selling for a living. So mortgage, real estate, financial planning, CPAs, attorneys, insurance, whatever. You sell for a living. I don't care if you sell photocopiers. If you make more than $1 million a year, I'm going to ask you the question. And then I'm looking for the answer that resonates with me.
Right.
And so what I learned very quickly after asking the question hundreds, if not thousands of times, is that every single time somebody making more than $1 million a year gave me the answer, there was only five answers. There's only five. Everything was a subset of these five answers. And so I was like, well, that can't be a coincidence. Like that's like hundreds and if not thousands, and there's only five answers. Like what? I need to analyze this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so wrote down the five, and then went back to as many people as I could and say, like, here's my observations. Does this resonate with you? And yeah, that's exactly it. It's like, really? It's like, yeah, that's 100% it. Okay. So then I wrote out a two-page synopsis, sent it to some friends, hey, if I wrote a book, like, does this resonate with you? And one of my friends knew a book publisher and he forwarded it on without asking me. And I got a call from a book publisher and he's like, hey, can you prove your theory? And so I did an exercise with them on the phone. They're like, yep, you just proved it. I said, yep. And so they gave me a contract. I wrote the book in about 6 months. That was one of the biggest projects of my life, writing that book. Um, and then got it published. I think it was 2019, just before the year before the pandemic.
Mm.
And so it's just if you're earning less than $1 million a year, and I ask you why do you want money, most people are going to give answers like, well, I want security, I want to sleep better, I want to invest in something, I want to, whatever. And when you ask people who are making more than $1 million a year, then that's not the answer. Those aren't the answers. And so chapter one of the book is here's the five answers, right? Here's the five.
Mm-hmm.
And I elaborate on the five. And at the end of chapter one, I say, look, if none of those five resonate with you, and there's a video on my website, eric-mitchell.com about it. If none of those five resonate with you, stop reading the book. I'll give you your money back. God bless. If you don't need all five, you just need one. But if chapter one doesn't resonate with you, I'll give you your money back. Stop. Don't go on. Now, if one of those five does resonate with you, or more than one, now the rest of the book is how. Here's how you're self-sabotaging. Here's how you get around the self-sabotaging, because we all have some sort of trauma, childhood trauma, life trauma, something that's telling us that doesn't work that way.
Mm.
Whatever that is, success, money, sales, prospecting, whatever. And so we go in and out this flow. We go in and out of activities, but we don't maintain activities.
Mhm.
And so it's like exercising, right? You can't go in and out of exercising and think you're going to lose weight,
Right.
right? There has to be a steady flow. You have to eat properly. You have to exercise regularly. It's a forever thing. It never goes away. It's like showering, right? You
Brushing
have
your
to shower every day. You have to brush your teeth every day. Like it's an everyday thing. You have
teeth.
to be motivated every day, right? You have to do your activities every day.
Yeah.
And so how do you stop the self-sabotage? And what I believe to be true is that you have to understand what you're going to do with the money.
Mm. Mhm.
And if
Mhm.
you understand what the money's for, then the activities become simple because I know what the money's for now. And that's the purpose of the five reasons.
Hmm, that's really cool. It's interesting. I haven't read it yet, but I definitely will get it and read it. Maybe even if is it on Audible?
It's not.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's you got to actually read the book. I
Gotta
know I get a request with the Audible. Um, it's on my project list. Haven't got there yet.
Okay, it's good in the future.
Yeah, like you've got things in your life that you're doing that come from a place of high trauma, right? Like I know some of your backstory and you've got some doozies,
Yeah.
right? And so from that, it catapults us into required activities to deal with the trauma. Then you get ancillary activities, right? Like you got 21 animals. Right? Now, I would be willing to bet that there's a reason for having 21 animals,
Mm.
right? It's not by chance,
Yes.
right?
Well,
And so
I do have a teenager that brings out lots of animals.
22 animals. Yeah. And so okay, but being able to channel that
Mhm.
into defined activities brings us the blessings and the fulfillment.
Mhm. Mhm.
But most people don't know how. Just like I did in 2004 when I was asked, like, why do you want the money? Because it's money. What? I, I don't understand the question. I remember the dinner. I remember the moment. Like it was burned. It burned into my brain. And it was such a high trauma moment for me.
Mhm.
And so I just don't want other people feeling that, right? Like that trauma moment. And so how do we help you understand what your real purpose is, right? Understanding like there's a purpose.
Mhm.
Money serves a purpose. It's a tool. It's a byproduct, right? But it's really hard to live your purpose if you're broke.
It is really hard, and
Really hard because you're focused on being broke, right? I'm broke. And
how do I
so
get out of this?
how do I get out of this? And so your energy is to get out of being broke, right? Which means you're not living your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Staying in something that you are financially abundant, but it's sucking the life out of you,
either way, you're not living your purpose,
right?
not your highest and truest purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And so money is a tool to allow you to be who you really are, who you were designed to be. It's just a tool. It's not the end goal, right? You don't want to make millions of dollars so that you can have millions of dollars.
Right. It's for
That's
free.
not. Well, freedom is sure, but freedom for what?
Mm.
Freedom to do what? Freedom, what do you do with the freedom? And that's where you have to pull back all that onion layer, right? Like what is it you want to do? Well, I want to have freedom. Okay. To do what? Well, to travel. Then what? Okay, you travel. Great. I'm not saying don't travel. I'm saying that's not a purpose,
Right.
right? Then what?
Yes.
Yeah, one of my favorite stories, I was talking to a real estate agent, a woman. She was Hispanic, had an accent, a very recognizable accent, and she was asking me questions. She wanted to understand what she felt I understood. I mean, why do I want money? And she wanted me to help her. And I said, okay, let's pull back some layers of the onion. And she was really stuck. I call it being on a software loop. You're just saying the same thing over and over and over again, and I'm trying to bump you off that loop, like get off that loop, like stop saying that, come up with a different phrase. And we were struggling. She was really focused on safety and security and etc., right? Nothing to do with purpose. And I said, okay, so I'm going to take it some guesses at some things, and then you tell me if I'm right or wrong. And I said, you got an accent, which means to me that you weren't born here. You were born somewhere else, and then you moved here. She goes, yes. And if memory serves me, it was Ecuador. I'm from Ecuador. I said, okay, so how old were you when you moved here from Ecuador? And she was a young girl, 8 years old, I think. I said, okay, did you come here alone? She's like, no, I came with my sister and my dad. Okay, not your mom. No, my mom passed away. It was my dad, my sister, and me. I said, okay, was it easy for you to get here? She's like, it was the worst. I can't even describe the experience, but so I get she got me all in all the feels when she was telling me the story. But what her dad sacrificed and the trek they had to make, the three of them, to get here was brutal. I mean, it was just brutal. And I said, okay, is your dad still alive? It's like, yeah, we're all together. Like all three of us, and the family and the kids, we're all together. I said, okay, have you ever honored him?
Mhm.
So one of the key phrases I've learned is that every significant thing we're trying to do in our lives is either to honor or heal the past. One of the two.
Mhm.
And I said, have you ever honored him? And she looked at me, it's like she couldn't understand the question. Like, honor him? Like, what do you mean? I said, well, let me just throw out some suggestions and let me see if something lands, right? And it's statistical probabilities that I'm probably going to be close, right? Like studying NLP, et cetera. Like I know where the brain goes most of the time. There's exceptions, but so I said, does your dad have a passion? Is there something? Well, I don't know. What do you mean? I said, well, I'm gonna guess Ecuador. Like, does your dad love soccer? It's like, oh my God, he loves soccer. Okay. Statistically speaking, right? That's probable. And so, okay, he loves soccer. So World Cup, it's a big thing. Oh yeah. Oh my God, big thing. Said, okay, so what would it look like to find out what school he went to in Ecuador? Right? He went to school somewhere. There's a school somewhere, right? His hometown. And what if you got a hold of the principal of that school and you asked, what would it take to build a sports field next to the school? Soccer, basketball, etc. Bleachers. Like, what does that cost in Ecuador?
Mhm.
Grass, bleachers, I don't know, 50,000, 100,000? Let's just say $100,000 builds you the entire stadium,
Mhm.
right? And you put a big sign up, and the name of the stadium is your dad's name. You name the stadium after your dad. And then you hire a private jet. You take your whole family, and nobody knows why. Don't tell a soul, not a single human knows, right? And you coordinate, the marching band and the mayor and the principal and the teachers and the kids and everybody at the school. And you're going to do an unveiling. And you and your family get off the plane, you check in the hotel, you go to the school, and there's everybody to welcome you. And they pull down the tarp, and your dad looks up and sees his name on the stadium, and you get to look at him and say, Dad, I did this because you matter.
Mhm.
Like what sacrifices you made for us, it was worth it. Right? And she's weeping, like tears are just streaming down her face, right? And so I'm crying, she's crying,
I'm gonna.
and yeah, and she's like, "Oh my God, I want that." It's okay. Okay, hold on. Let's just say it's 100,000 for the stadium. Let's say it's another 50,000 for you to get everybody there. 150,000. You're a real estate agent in California. You make about $20,000 per transaction, roughly plus or minus. So you need to close an extra eight deals. Extra. Not eight, extra eight, because you still have living expenses. You have to close an extra eight deals. Can you close an extra eight deals in the next 12 months? Are
She's
you willing? Are you willing to prospect? She's like, get me the phone. Get me. I am a prospecting machine. There it is.
mm,
See how easy that is once you know what you're going to do with the money?
so easy. Yeah.
So easy.
Mm,
So easy. And so that was her mission, right? And that was about 6 months ago, and she's en route. She's on her path. We talk about it, and she's excited. And I told her, if she has to live stream, like I need, like you have to have your phone. I want to watch this. Like, don't you dare not let me watch this when it happens, right? Like I'm gonna be there with popcorn in front of my computer and like, oh my God, like I need to experience this. And so, but everybody's got a different something, right? Like whatever that is.
their why.
Yeah, I mean, that's my best definition of there's something there that has meaning to you. And it's enough meaning that you'll fight through the rejection, you'll fight through the walls, you'll fight through to create solutions,
Mhm.
and you won't give up.
Mm,
And so what is it for you? And what I've learned is there's only five possibilities,
mhm,
right? And so that one was caring for your parents. That's one of the five, right? Something to do with your parents, caring for them, honoring them, etc. Another one is caring or honoring your children is another one. Um, Emotional gratification is another one. That one drove me for 30 years. So another one is lifestyle enhancements. You're trying to get away from something.
mm, mhm.
Third world country, abuse, something you're trying to get away from. And then the last one is legacy. You're trying to put a permanent footprint on the planet that says I was here and I mattered.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's five. And
Mm,
so you tap into one or more.
mm,
And one of the stories I tell is because the drivers can be, and not all five are going to resonate with you. You might look at emotional gratification, and go, well, that doesn't resonate.
mm,
Great, then don't focus on it. That's okay, but it resonates with some.
mhm.
Don't dismiss it. And so the story I tell is about Janis Joplin, so a very famous singer in the 70s, and her driver was she wanted to be the number one female recording artist on the planet. That was her driver. Until I'm number one, I ain't stopping,
Yeah.
right?
Such a
And
unique voice.
and she got there. She's the number one recording artist on the planet, right? And the moment she got there, the driver collapsed and
Mm,
she didn't replace it with anything. She
mm,
got it. Now what? And so this emptiness ensued. And so she turned to drugs and she became a drug addict and she died.
mm.
And so when you get what you were, right, just like this real estate agent with her dad, right? Okay, she got it, did the unveiling. She's now on the jet on her way home. Now what? The driver collapsed,
Yeah.
right? You better replace it with something. What's the next driver? And so for me, my next, because I got my driver in 2019, I, I got my moment, and so I had to replace it with something, right? And so for me now, it's legacy. How many millionaires can I create?
Mhm.
And so that's my driver. Is when I meet you, I want you to be a millionaire. And are you prepared to do what is required to do that?
You're prepared to say yes.
If not, I'm not your guy, and
Yes.
that's okay. It's
Yes.
okay. You're not ready, and that's okay.
Yes.
There's no judgment. I just can't spend time with you. That's all.
Yes. I love that. That legacy is something that I've been thinking about a lot this year, when my vision board. But I would say that some of the other drivers that I've had was, being a single mom for, 13 years now, was the children. That was my drive, supporting my parents. I can definitely see that, as well. So I love that. That's really beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, what I know of you though, like if you could help your daughter So I'm gonna get a little. Well, you bear with me. I'm gonna get choked here. It already hit me. It was like, Eric, careful. So one of the things I've learned is that if you're gonna talk about your why, your real why, like your real one, um, if you aren't crying, if you don't get choked up while you're talking about it, it's not it.
Mhm.
You're not going deep enough. You're skimming off stuff to be safe, right? We all want to be safe. And so
Mhm.
our brain resists going there because you have to feel things you don't want to feel because
Mhm.
it's coming from a place of trauma.
Mhm.
And what if I envision it and then I don't achieve it? Then I've got more trauma. And so the brain puts all these barriers in front of it.
Mhm.
And so you have to push through all that to get to the rawness of it. But if I were to say to you, if you were to teach your child how to create a moment in their future that honors their dad. Like, I'm willing to bet that's going to hit some nerves,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? And so, what would that be to them? Like, what would that be to your daughter,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? For her to go, wait, what? What am I doing? And
Mhm.
how does that impact his memory? Oh,
Mhm.
wait a minute. Yeah, hold on. That changes things, doesn't it?
Mhm. Like she intuitively already knows that. I see some of her messaging about the reason she pushes herself so hard is because she's honoring him.
That's beautiful, right? Like that's purpose.
Yeah.
And so how do you create so I call it a gold medal moment.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like in the Olympics, you do all this work and then you get there and then you win and then you're on the podium and you put your head down and they put a gold medal around your neck and then the national anthem plays, right? What's the gold medal moment of the activities? And you have to define a moment.
Hmm.
You have to future pace it. In this year, in 2027, I'm going to do this. This will be the moment. And now you have a direct path, right? You have a straight shot now
Hmm.
instead of the zigzagging we do in life. But now there's a straight path to the goal because you've defined the gold medal moment. What is the gold? So, as an example, with this real estate agent, the gold medal moment is her dad looking up and seeing the sign with his name on it. That's the moment,
Yeah.
right? And so, if you don't define a moment, then it's just this zigzag thing happening in life, but you're not going towards something.
Hmm.
It's what I believe to be true. Doesn't my everyday is, look, here's what I currently believe to be true. If you give me new information, right, that resonates, then I'll change my opinion. I
Yes.
have no, I have no problem changing my opinion if you give me new information that's logical. I won't change my opinion based on emotion. If you give me emotion, you're not going to influence me or change my opinion. But if you give me facts and logic, then I'll change my opinion.
Hmm. Yeah, and some of the things that and like thinking about your human design is like you're a lot of times very much ahead of your vision can be ahead of where other people are in their journey. How do you
Yeah, that's a blessing and a curse.
yeah, how does that work for you? Mhm.
Some days it works. Um, some days it's a problem. It depends on who I'm talking to in the moment.
Mhm.
Depends how entrenched they are in their belief system. It depends on, how much fear they have about change.
Mm. Yeah, change
And so
is scary for a lot of people.
it can be death defying for a
Yeah.
lot of people, right? Any change whatsoever.
Mhm.
If you ever want to, try and understand the fear of change, teach your grandparents how to use Facebook, right? They're like, what is this hocus pocus? It's like, oh my God.
My dad is on Facebook all the time now.
Okay, but when you first tried to show him how to use Facebook, right? I'm imagining it was probably painful.
Probably, yes. I wasn't the one that taught him. His wife definitely
Okay.
took the reins there, but yeah, sometimes we're like, Dad, you can get off Facebook
Yeah.
and
Uh,
talk to us.
and so but that same metaphor is trying to show anybody anything new,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even if it's just a vision, right? Like using the mortgage industry and the real estate industry, going through a lot of change. AI is driving a lot of change, and it freaks people out. Like, oh my God, where are we going? How am I going to maintain my job? How do I keep making a living? How do I take care of my family? Oh my God, this stress, this cortisol that's just pumping through your system makes it very hard to be open to new things because
Mm-hmm.
you're holding on to yesterday, and that doesn't serve you,
Mm-mm.
doesn't serve any of us. And so helping people understand that technology is not going to replace you. I don't care if you're mortgage, real estate, financial planning, I don't care what you do. Technology is not going to replace you. Okay. However, those in your industry who embrace technology at a very fast pace will replace those who don't.
Yeah, they'll be so much further ahead.
That's correct. So by resisting the technology, you're on purpose making yourself obsolete, and
Mm-hmm.
you're choosing that,
Yes.
right? And that's when we go, what? Okay, look, the truth rarely feels good. You know how I know when somebody's speaking truth to me? It doesn't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
when somebody says, ooh, that didn't feel good. Oh, hold on. It didn't feel good. That's probably the truth. Why am I resisting the truth? Hold on. I need to process this. And so rather than getting mad at somebody for telling me something that didn't feel good, like it's their fault, it's not their fault, right? They're just giving me an observation that didn't feel good. Didn't feel good because it's true. That's why it didn't feel good,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I said to you, 2 + 2 = 5, do you have an emotional response to that? No. 2 + 2 = 4. Still no, because there's nothing there about you or me or right. There's no. I don't have an emotion about it. But if somebody says to you, you're not very nice. What do you mean? Well, there are moments when I'm not very nice. Like if somebody tells you, hey, Eric's really nice, you should believe them. And if somebody says, Eric's not very nice, you should believe them. It depends on the moment, depends on who I'm talking to, it depends on the circumstances, it depends on whether they're in a software loop or not.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like if you're in a software loop and you're over and over and over again, you're not going anywhere, you're not gonna go anywhere, and you've proven it over and over and over again, you're not gonna go anywhere. I can't spend time with you.
Yes.
You're not ready, and that's okay. Gotta go. Well,
Yes.
that was rude. No, it wasn't. I'm just enforcing a boundary.
Right. I'm
There's a
here
difference.
when you're ready.
I'm here when you're ready, but you're not ready.
Yeah. You have to be ready to change.
That's correct. And I can't force someone to be ready, right? I can't force someone to want to be successful
Mm-mm.
as much as I want them to be successful, right? And I'm sure in coaching you come across it all the time, right? You want them to find their purpose. You want them to live their purpose more than they do.
Mm.
It's like, yeah, this isn't going to work. I can't want this more than you, right? I'm the coach. Like I'm not you. You need to want this as much. I'll guide you, I'll show you, I'll help you, but you have to want it. You have
Yes.
to want this. Otherwise you won't change.
And as a coach, I can't get too wrapped up in needing them to take my advice. I just need them
Yeah,
to,
because you'll get upset.
yes, and it's not.
Yeah. And I'm guilty of being in that moment where I'm like, why aren't you listening? Oh my God. Right? It's like, wait a second, hold on. I need to step back, right? This person's not ready and I'm getting upset. Okay, what is it about this that's making me upset? Right? Because I feel like I'm failing. Okay, so I'm internalizing my failure, therefore, and now I'm taking it out on them. Right? Okay, that's not good.
Yeah, and it's not your failure. Your message is
They're
just,
just not ready.
yeah, it's just early. And when they're ready, it will still impact them when the time is right, especially
Hopefully.
with all of your empowerment and your design.
Hopefully, I got to tell my story a couple years ago to my mentor from 2004. I
Hmm.
could tell. I said, "There's something you don't know." He's like, "Oh, what's that?" I said, "Well, when you did that site visit back in 2004 and we had dinner that night," I said, "Oh yeah, I remember that dinner." I said, Do you remember the look on my face when you were asking me questions? He's like, no, we're just like to him it was just a normal conversation. Right? I was like, you don't remember? No, I remember this is a great day, great dinner.
Mm,
That's it. It's all you remember. He goes, yeah. Let me tell you what happened. And then I told him the whole story. He's like, you're kidding. I said, no, man, you're the reason the book exists. He's
mm.
like, wow, I had no idea. So yeah, butterfly effect, right? Like you can have these massive impacts on people that you're not even aware of.
Right? It's like that seed. You're planting the seed, and then
Mhm.
it might sprout while you see it, but a lot of times that seed sprouts
Elsewhere.
elsewhere in
Yep.
different timing.
Yep.
So,
So,
what does unleash your amazing leadership mean to you?
well, it comes back to, how do you get out of your own way, right? Like we are, and I say we because I'm in there as well. Like I struggle every day. I wake up in the morning, okay, how do I get out of my own way today? Because I'm the problem.
Yes.
It's not the market. It's not my family. It's not my dog. It's not my customers. It's not my referral partners. It's not, nope, nope. I am the problem. And so how do I not be the problem today? How do I be the solution today? How do I communicate better today? How do I prospect better today? How do I forgive myself better today? Right? How do I stay focused on the tasks that need to be done today? How do I be a better team member to my team today? How to be more valuable in the marketplace today? How do I learn something, one thing today that I didn't know yesterday that's valuable today? Right? I just need one.
Mhm.
I don't need seven. I need to learn one thing today that I didn't know yesterday.
Mm.
And some days it works, some days it doesn't. So that's why I got to forgive myself because I tried to do it yesterday and it didn't work so well. I'm going to try better today. And I'm going to try and be better today. And it helps me. The one of the metaphors is the fish in the fish tank, right? If you have a healthy fish, but they're in the wrong fish tank,
Mm.
that fish tank's not so healthy, right? They can't thrive, they can't do anything, right? So you take that healthy fish, you put it in a good fish tank. Now it has all these blessings and all this way of living a better life. And the same applies for all of us. Like, what's your fish tank? Who are you surrounding yourself with?
Mm. Mhm.
Because that's your choice,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? If you're choosing to be around people who make $50,000 a year, that's okay. But then you're going to make $50,000 a year.
Mhm.
Right? If you choose to be around people who are making $500,000 a year, then you'll learn how to make $500,000 a year. If you choose to be around people who are making $5 million a year, you're going to learn how to make $5 million a year. You have to choose your fish tank.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so who you're surrounding yourself with and get to them. Because it's easy to stay friends with people that are making $50,000 a year. Good people. They're good people. I'm not like your money has nothing to do with whether you're a good person or not. Nothing to do with it. Right. And it's very easy to stay comfortable. It's hard to break out of that, which is why 1% of people make a lot of money and 99% of people don't because it's hard.
Mhm.
Why do you want the money? How do you? So to unleash yourself is to finally embrace your purpose. Once you embrace your purpose, now the tasks become easy. Your boundaries become clear.
Mhm.
If somebody's wasting your time, like I know what my purpose is to honor my grandfather,
Mhm.
right? And his teachings. That's my reason for wanting to make millionaires.
Mhm.
It's to honor my grandfather. It has nothing to do with the millionaires.
Mhm.
Nothing to do with them, right? Like I want them to do that because it honors my grandfather. But the purpose is to honor my grandfather. That's the driver. And so if I'm establishing you're not going to do the tasks,
Mhm.
you're stuck on this software loop and refusing to get off of it, that's okay. I'm up.
Yeah.
This doesn't help me honor my grandfather. I gotta go.
Yes.
And so the non-negotiable is honoring my grandfather. And so if you're stopping me from doing that, I have to push you to the side because I'm going to go accomplish my goals.
What is it about your grandfather that is that driver for you?
He was the most influential person in my childhood. From a positive standpoint, my family owned a chain of drugstores. And so my whole childhood was every 6 months we opened a new drugstore and I was in there breaking boxes and stacking shelves. And at the age of 6, I was working. Like I've never not worked from the age of 6.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, like when I'm not working, it feels weird. Like I'm just like, what? Wait, what? Like I have the ability to watch a sunset and let's go back to work. Like, that was great. That was great. Loved it. And let's go back to work because I'm most comfortable working. And some people say, oh, you have to learn to relax. Like I relax when I'm working. That is my relaxation because I love what I do. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like if you love what you do, is it work? Not really.
Not really.
No, I love you want to call me at 11 o'clock at night and talk about, you know, purpose and meaning? Yeah. Heck yeah. Call me. Oh my God. I feed off of that, right? I get energized. I probably won't sleep now because I'm so energized, but
You
like
got
that,
that. You got that second wind.
yeah, but that feeds me, right? And so what is it about your life that can drive you in that same manner? You know, unleashing your leadership ability. Okay, what is your leadership ability? And how do you enhance that? How do you define being a good leader? Because a lot of people define being a good leader as just leading. Okay, that's a piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you follow? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you shouldn't be the one leading.
Mm-hmm.
You could be in a room full of people and you're like, well, I'm the dominant and they're, nah, that doesn't mean you should be leading this group. Hold on, what's the task? Are you the most qualified? Have you ever done that task? Is somebody else in the room more qualified? There's this great TV show where this yacht is going through the ocean and they run into a storm and it gets capsized and they get on this island.
Gilligan's
Yeah.
Island.
Well, no, it's not Gilligan's Island. It's a new show. But
Oh,
so you've got this millionaire, multi-millionaire who was in charge on the boat, right? It's their boat, they're in charge. And then you've got a captain of a boat, they're in charge of anything logistical, and then you've got the one who makes the food, and then you got the one who cleans the bedrooms and stuff, who cleans on the boat, and then you got this other person, right? And they get on the island, and there's only one person who knows how to fish, and that's the maid. The maid knows how to fish. Nobody else knows how to fish. So she's getting the food, right? So she comes back to the camp. She's got all this fish. And so the millionaire's like, great, here's what's going to happen. And the maid says, no, on the boat, you were in charge. Here, I'm in charge.
that's right.
You want to eat? You want to eat? I'm in charge. And the millionaire had to take a seat. Yeah. In this circumstance, I'm not in charge. You're right. You're
Mhm.
right. I'm not in charge. But that's good leadership, recognizing
Yeah.
in this situation, I'm not in charge. Right?
Yes.
Like if you and I are in a room and the task is to help someone understand parenting, I'm not in charge. I'm not a parent. Like I'm not taking charge of that. You're taking charge of that. I'm doing as instructed. Right? Like can you be a good follower?
Mm-hmm.
That displays good leadership,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so there's complexity to being a leader. It's not simple. Can you be flexible to the moment? Being a good leader to me is, do you understand how to be valuable to the people around you in the moment? And sometimes that's talking and sometimes that's listening. And you have to figure out on your journey when each one is more appropriate. And that's always been a struggle for me. You know, when you have insecurities, you want to fill those insecurities with action.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you I'm valuable because I do this and this and this and this. Nah, it's not. No, 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 no.
Yes.
Just sit there and listen sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's valuable. Give somebody a pat on the back sometimes. That's what's valuable sometimes, right? Give somebody a hug.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's what's being a good leader. You just gave a really good hug at a really good moment.
Yeah. Being able to honor the space that they need in that moment.
Yeah, and that's been a struggle for me. Like, I don't want to say that as though I've mastered it. No. No, I say it because I haven't mastered it. Like I look back and go, "Oh, wow, I missed that moment." Okay,
Mm,
how do I repair that? Right? Can I show up with humility and try and repair that? Right? There's still wounds in my past that I haven't been able to repair. Right? I think with most people.
mhm,
And I'm the same. And so it can haunt you. And so we avoid situations so we don't feel that again. There's you're not unleashing, you're not getting out of your own way. You're being
letting it.
bound by the rules and restrictions of your past instead of honoring or healing it.
Mm,
It's how do you get out of your own way? How do you unleash your true purpose? How do you learn? Because it's learned. It's not, none of us are born
yeah.
with this,
Mhm,
right? You have to seek out the information and then implement it one baby step at a time.
mhm,
How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? Like it can feel overwhelming. Oh my God, where do I start? You start with one. Pick one.
mhm.
Anyone. Pick one. Do it. But if you can implement one new thing a week, that's 52 a year. You're a completely different human next year. Like you're not even the same, like no one would recognize you. If you can just do one new thing a week. One. That's it. One new thing a week. And yet we're all focused on being busy.
Busy is such a bad word.
Busy. I'm busy. Oh, I'm busy. So busy. And say, okay.
But
Right.
are you productive?
Are you productive? That is a great question.
Yes. Are you just busy being busy?
Yeah. And so it's part of the journey trying to learn, all of us.
Yeah, yeah. Well, none of us has this knowledge of everything. We're here to experience and to learn through the journey, and trauma teaches us so much. I think it teaches us a lot about how we don't want to be. And I think it's also important to take responsibility for the mistakes that we made. Sometimes I'll share about my journey and the mistakes because as part of my journey, my design, I'm here to become wise about it. And then I think it's acceptable to own it and not like stay stuck or embarrassed. Shame can keep us so small. And so, I love how you have shared how a lot of the things that have happened for you came from that trauma, but you're taking that trauma and you're turning it into legacy, purpose.
Doing my best every day.
Yeah.
Trying to do my best. Trying to learn every day. How do I be better? Trying. I'm trying.
Yes. That's all we can do
There
is,
it is.
yeah, one moment at a time.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for sharing your time with me today.
Always love spending time with you. You are a lighthouse and a beacon of light in a crazy world, and I appreciate you for that. Every interaction I have with you is oh, you just exude light,
Thank you.
and so I appreciate that.
Very kind of you. And so you did mention your website earlier, but if you want to share that again, how can
Eric-Mitchell.com, ERIC-MITCHELL.com. Everything's right there. You can find me 1,000 different ways from that website.
awesome. Well, thanks again for sharing your time, and I'll look forward to future conversations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks for listening to Unleash Your Amazing Leadership. If this episode resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss what's next. Want more support or curious about working together? Visit unleashyouramazing.com to explore coaching, workshops, and ways to connect. Until next time, keep showing up and unleashing your amazing.